Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Friday, September 3rd. So the moon is going to be in Cancer for the early hours of the day. It will be going void, of course, around 2:38 a.m., again Atlantic Standard Time, and will be transiting to and locking into Leo energy at 1 p.m. Now, this is going to bode very well for us later in the afternoon, but I will throw caution to you. We are going to be a little bit shaky, a little bit indecisive, a little bit sad, a little bit of a Debbie Downer as we get the day going. There are 8 different aspects taking place today. 5 of them involve the moon. And because we are in the surrendering period, we have to remind ourselves to step back, to evaluate, to take notice, to act as the observer, to see what it is that the universe is trying to tell us that needs to be removed, that needs to be let go of. I also want to just throw a tidbit of information to you that we are moving into the new moon in Virgo window. The new moon in Virgo is taking place on the 6th, and the days prior to a new moon typically become a little bit dark, become highly emotional, a little bit flustered. Things seem to go wrong. And again, may I remind you, whatever is going wrong is due to the fact that it was not meant for you. It was not part of the big grand vision, and that there is something better coming around the corner. This is up to us to recognize this, to process it as fast as possible, to let it go and release it, all in preparation for the new moon in Virgo. So we have the moon still in Cancer and opposing Pluto. Now, we've been talking for the last couple of days about how the moon in Cancer is very attached to the old, very attached to the past, wants to be nostalgic, wants to hash everything out, wants to sit and cry about some of the things that have transpired in our past, and really give us a good reason to kind of block our progress of moving away from such memories, vibrations, and frequencies to align to a better situation in the future. Now, this particular aspect with Pluto, of course, Pluto is the god of the underworld. He shows us our shadow self. He shows us the darkest parts of our minds, of our thinking, of our emotions, of our memories. He highlights for us the pain, the darkness, so that we have the opportunity to step into our power, to take control over our mind and our emotions, and to rewrite the script into something more powerful. We get the opportunity to illuminate the darker parts of self, to shine a bright light on them, make them very conscious in our focus so that we can turn them into a source of power. The moon opposing Pluto is going to highlight for us the old fears, the old patterns, the old pain, the old trauma, the old situations, the old abuse, everything dark, everything not happy, everything that the darker energies, the lower vibrational frequencies have stored up in our memories, in our bodies, will be illuminated. Is it going to feel good? Nope. Do we have an opportunity to use it as a fuel to fire us forward? We absolutely do. That's the magic of energy. So we have to consider the fact that Pluto offers us a huge opportunity to transform mind, body, and soul. How do we do that? We look back at the past, we reframe it, we rewrite it, we rescript it. We get in our mental plane where it is that we felt like a victim and where it is that now we are taking our power back. This is how we boss up. This is how we level up. This is how we integrate those past pain experiences into a source of power. The moon goes ahead and bumps into Jupiter, and Jupiter, of course, wants to push us outside of our comfort zones, wants us to grow, wants us to expand past our current narrative. And you best believe that this is going to highlight for us, turn the volume all the way up on these darker energies, memories, emotions, and thoughts. So much so that we might become obsessed with them. We might loop them in our minds, in our heart space, constantly allowing our physical body to be triggered with adrenaline, with that flight or fight chemical that is unleashing all of that trauma in our bodies again. Now, is this a good aspect? Absolutely not. What are we going to learn from this? that we have a choice. Are we going to continue to let that narrative loop and allow our bodies to be activated in pain and fear? Or are we going to choose to look at the bigger, brighter picture of the future and let that be enough motivation to pull us out of the past? The moon goes ahead and bumps into the sun. And this is really where we get the choice point, because the moon in Cancer, of course, is illuminating the past. The sun in Virgo is illuminating the present. We have a lot of emotional baggage that we have to let go of as far as the past goes. What does the sun in Virgo want to do? He wants to analyze every detail. He wants to know why certain thoughts, certain memories still create certain emotions. He wants to pick it apart, dissect it, give us an opportunity to recognize that it is our mental planes that hold the power of memories, of emotions, and that we have the power to rewrite that story. This is going to be a huge illumination, a huge choice point on what it is that we are willing to do. Are we willing to give ourselves permission and throw the day away, thinking about the past, being nostalgic, sitting in our pain, sitting in our trauma? Or are we going to analyze it to the point where there's no feelings attached anymore, where it's just a script, and with that, we can kind of tame the emotional triggers that get triggered anytime some kind of situation comes up that resembles something that we've already gone through? We get a beautiful opportunity to shift our perspective here, because the moon in Cancer goes ahead and bumps into Uranus. And Uranus is retrograde in Taurus, but still has the capability to allow aha moments, shift our mental perspective. Once you know something, you can't unknow it. This is a shift in the way that we're looking at the past, a shift in the way that we're looking at our pain and the emotions that are keeping us locked down, heavy, weighted, connected to the past. Why? Because that is blocking our progress forward. So this Uranian zap comes in, and suddenly we shift our perspective. Suddenly we identify where it is in the past we gave our power away and where it is in this present moment that we're taking it back. Why? Because we recognize that the future holds much more opportunity than the past ever allowed us, right? We have the opportunity moving into the future to rewrite some of the wrongs that we went through in the past. But unless we are consciously aware of how those past situations occurred in the first place, taking our responsibilities for allowing certain things to happen, for not having enough strong boundaries, for letting people have power over us, for choosing to be a co-star in our own movies, that is on us. And when we accept that, we shift our perspective. And when we shift our perspective, we shift our emotion. And when we shift our emotion, we shift our whole freaking vibration. This is going to be a good one. We're taking one step forward. Mercury at this particular point in time trines the true node. This is a beautiful aspect because Mercury rules over the mental plane, how it is we think, the narratives that we let run, the perspectives that we have, how we communicate our inner workings outwardly. And of course, the true node is showing us, okay, here's where you're supposed to be at in the future. Here's the path forward. And this particular aspect between these two really provide us a beautiful opportunity to open our minds, to get out of the past, to progress into the future. This is mental evolution at its finest. Why? Because we recognize the patterns of behavior. We recognized the past for what it was, the opportunity to learn from it, the integration that we're doing in the present moment, shifting our perspective and setting ourselves up to rewrite those wrongs in the future. Venus at this time bumps into Neptune. Now I love this because Venus is in her place of power in Libra, and we have Neptune in her place of power in Pisces. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, which means that there's a powerful energy coming through for us right now. This is a learning moment. What are we learning? We are learning to love ourselves. Why? Because unconditional love is our truest essence. And when we can love ourselves, flaws and all, right? We've been illuminated to a lot of our roles and responsibilities in our pain history over the last couple of days. And being accountable for that is 100% the beginning stages of taking your power back. When we recognize that we, yes, technically looking back, made some bad decisions, made some bad choices, didn't honor ourselves, didn't advocate for ourselves, is that a need for us to just bully ourselves more and make us feel worse? No, that is an opportunity for us to love ourselves through the pain and trauma that we had to go through. This is 100% responsibility and accountability, and recognizing that we, in those moments, made the best decision, made the best choices that we had in that particular moment. Now, are we going to beat ourselves up, feel guilty, feel bad, be resentful, and hate on ourselves for the rest of our life for the past situations? Absolutely not. We have to remind ourselves that that was divinely scripted. Our higher self wrote that situation, wrote that pain, wrote that trauma in order for us to go through that. Why do we have to go through that? Because we don't learn anything unless we go through pain and suffering. That is just what it is to be human. And so when we come to this particular aspect, we need to understand that we need to love ourselves. We need to forgive ourselves. We need to move inside of ourselves and nurture that inner child. We need to show up for ourselves and recognize that we have to be the heroes that we were looking to actually come and save us in those points of trauma and pain in our past. And when we do that, we unlock a different vibration, a different frequency. We shift our perspective into integration. We accept the past, we accept the pain, we accept the trauma because we recognize that it was divinely scripted by our higher selves in order to get us to where it is that we currently are, right? Think about the Mandela effect. You go back in the past, you change one thing, and your whole entire present moment could be different. And even if you are unhappy with your current circumstances right now, you best believe that every aspect that you've gone through has made you who it is that you are today. And you need to be who it is that you are today in order to accept the blessings that are about to come into your life. Unless you had this level of wisdom and experience, this wisdom that comes through pain and suffering and learning from those situations, you would not be as grateful. You would not even be in alignment to receive the rewards, the abundance, and the blessings that are coming to you. So just recognize that there is a lot of power in acknowledging and accepting your responsibilities, your role, your part that you played in allowing those situations to unfold in the past. Mars at this particular point bumps into Saturn. Now, this is an interesting aspect because Mars wants to take action in a strategically calculated, logical, and practical way. Saturn, the Lord of Karma, wants to remind us of a reality check. And so what we have happening here, especially after the powerful moment that we just had, is a realization where in the past we felt powerless. Where in this present moment we can make up for that by taking action, taking control over our situation. This particular aspect illuminates us to the past and where we've been allowing the past to create a block in our present moment, delaying us from getting to the futuristic vision and dream that we're looking to manifest. So what comes out of this? This comes with a reality check that we have to get out of our own way, that we have to understand that with controlled action, we can build a better foundation where the past does not haunt us any longer. This is beautiful because at this particular point, the moon in Cancer is over. We lock into Leo energy. And this Leo energy is beautiful because, first of all, it's brave, it's confident, it's willing to take a risk. It's only looking to progress into the future. It has no business looking back in the past. It is our heart space. It is our heart chakra. It is a playful energy. And Lord knows we need to lighten the mood after the last couple of days that we just had. The moon in Leo is also going to remind us of what it is that we're fighting for by reflecting a little bit back to the new moon in Leo just over a month ago, when we had the Lionsgate portal, when we were presented with two choices, one to revolve around the same old, and the other to evolve, pushing ourselves into new timelines, into new chapters, and into new soul contracts. The moon in Leo sextiles the true node, which is a beautiful thing because this is the refresher of the dream that we are having, of the plans that we are making, of the passion, the fire, the spark, the vision that got downloaded in our souls throughout Leo's season. This is going to be a great energy for us to end the day off with because it's pushing our vibration and frequency upward. Yes, I know we're moving into the dark phase of the moon. I know. But with the moon in Leo, you best believe that this is the most positive, optimistic, excitable type of energy that we could have with navigating some of these heavier memories, thoughts, and emotions.